In 2008, we started to build the Diyarbakir Foundation in order to restore the biggest Armenian church in the Middle East.
Pelin Ayik is a young Armenian living in Istanbul. Her family was involved in the restoration of Surb Giragos Armenian Church in Diyarbakir. Surb Giragos Armenian Church was the largest church in the Middle East, but was in ruins until it was restored and reopened to worshippers 3 years ago. The restoration started in 2009 and was completed in 2 years. Today, Surb Giragos Church has more than 100 visitors a day.
As we say, we have a saying in Turkish, it says that the blood attracts you. So I studied university in Canada. I did my master's in Milan. I am an Armenian. I'm attached to my roots, but I would always be, I was grown with Diyarbakir stories from both of my parents. But when I visited Diyarbakir, it was, I don't know how to explain it, I felt like I belonged there. Like not to Istanbul, not to Canada, but I belong to Diyarbakir. And since all my ancestors lived there, suffered there, and died there, as a young Armenian, I owed them to their souls to restore this church and, in a way, pay back to their memories. Yes, exactly.
The total cost of the restoration was approximately 5 million Turkish lira. 1/3 of the cost was paid for by the government, by Osman Baydemir, who is a Kurdish politician, lawyer and human rights activist in eastern Turkey. He is the current mayor of Diyarbakir and member of the Peace and Democracy Party. The rest of the funds were collected from Armenians living in Turkey and the diaspora, but there is still a shortfall of 1.5 million Turkish liras.
Most people were supportive. Part of people, they were scared. They had doubts because they were scared that there are no Armenians, very little Armenians living in Diyarbakir. But before 1915, there were 17 Armenian churches, only Armenian Orthodox churches in the city of Diyarbakir. There were 2 ruins left. One is Surb Giragos Church, which has been restored. The other one is Surb Church, which is still in ruins.
The Armenian Church of Surb Giragos is set to become a city museum hosting artwork and artifacts depicting the Armenian history in the city.
Yes, the city of Diyarbakir is restoring an old building. It's called Cemil Pasha Konak, and they will open a museum called City Museum. So they will represent all the civilizations who had been lived in Diyarbakir. And we decided to exhibit the part of Armenians in one of the buildings of Surb Giragos. So we have expectations from all Armenians from all around the world. We also have expectations from Armenia, of course. We had many visitors from Armenia for the opening of the church. There were almost 2,000 Armenians from all around the world. Most of them were age of 60 and up. They haven't been in Diyarbakir or even in Istanbul because they were scared and everything. But you know, when you see those people coming to Diyarbakir and see the church and remember what their ancestors or their parents told them, it's a memory to really see, and them crying, taking some memories from Diyarbakir, from the church. It's something else that most people should feel about. We need sport because we want everybody to know that there were Armenians living in Diyarbakir. Not only in Diyarbakir, everywhere. We started with Diyarbakir, we finished the restoration of Surb Giragos. Hopefully, if we find the sport, financially. We will also restore the second church, then hopefully other cities too, because I want people to say that since the biggest Armenian church in the Middle East was in Diyarbakir, it means there were Armenians there. Where are they now?